Hello snowboarders of the internet, I'm your host Avran LeFeber, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Rossignol circuit. This board features Rossignol's AmpTech Auto Turn, 20% camber between the feet, rocker throughout the rest of the board. So basically it's got a little bit of camber in there to kind of be a flex point and help with snap. And then you got all this rocker, which is just going to make it super loose and playful out in the tip and the tail. This board is available in 145, 150, 155, 160, 165, 156 wide, 161 wide, 166 wide. I rode this board at Arapahoe Basin on a sunny bluebird day with moderate to heavy winds. There was heavy pow, windblown pow, light pow, perfect groomers, chunder ice, kind of just a mix of everything. And I rode it with my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. First and foremost, let's be honest with each other here. This is a beginner to a low-level intermediate board. So of course it's going to be soft flexing. With that said, you have this stiff section right between the inserts. I mean, right where that camber section is. That's the stiffest portion of the board, and even then it's not that stiff. And then the nose and the tail, super soft. And the torsional flex, highly abundant. You can really twist this board. So with that said, you do get a lot of chatter when you charge with this thing. You feel everything with it. The only stable spot is that middle section. And even then, it's still not the most stable. So keep your knees bent and be prepared to buck around. Or if you're a beginner and you're just learning how to ride, it'll probably be absolutely perfect for you. With such a small camber zone on this board, you don't have to load it up to engage the pop. Instead, you just sort of roll back and spring off that rocker section. It's very skate-like with it. It's not the snappiest board out there, but it's predictable. It's easy to work with. It's not going to fight you at all. It's basically a Fisher-Price, my first board to learn to pop with, if you will. And it works for that. It's fine. Now, unfortunately, I was riding a basin. They didn't have any jumps up, so I didn't hit anything with it. It doesn't matter. The side hits that I hit, you want to keep it to the small features with this thing. It just lacks any stability. I mean, let's be honest with each other. If you want to go hit the park with it, you're not hitting anything over maybe 10 feet. You're probably realistically hitting stuff that's like 2 to 5 feet with it. That's what it is. As I said, it's not the snappiest thing out there, but it's easy to engage and you can get it up in the air. It's not going to be mind-blowing. You're not going to be like ollieing over slow signs or falling down skier families that are super fat and gravity kind of took them down, but hey, it is what it is at this point. With this thing being so rocker dominant and having such a small camber zone, it's super easy to butter with this thing. Just understand you can overpower it, so tone it down a notch or two unless you're just learning. For those of you that are just learning, roll back, tail press, roll forward, nose press. That's basically what this thing is. Yeah, there's that camber zone. It doesn't fight you. You might get a little spring out of any press that you do, but I wouldn't really worry about it. This is, like I said, Fisher-Price, my first butterboard. And when it comes to jibbing on this thing, like I said, tone it down a notch or two. You can overpress this and cause it to buckle and wash out. So you just want to be a little bit light on your feet, unless you're a beginner, because hey, if you're a beginner, just lean into it. Lean back, tail press. Lean forward, nose press. You get sideways, you want to try to ideally aim for the center of that camber zone, and this board will clap out. I don't care who you are. It's just got so much flex, it's just going to clap right out. If you're not in that camber zone, it gets a little off. It's a little more secure because of that rocker, but it's still soft. You're still going to fold this thing if you need to. Make no qualms about it. It's a beginner board. I only rode this for the beginners. I know I overpower this thing. Now here's the funny thing about this board. For as soft as it is and as beginner to intermediate centric as they built it, it actually carves fairly decent. I mean, you're not going to Euro carve with it because there's limitations, but those short, tight, quick setup turns or medium mellow carves, it locks in, you can feel it, it stays secure, you can drive it. I mean, you're going to feel everything with it because it's so unstable, but can actually carve. I mean, that was the surprising thing. It's quick and smooth edge to edge. It's not necessarily nimble. It's just predictable and smooth. And what you put in is what you get out of it. I mean, if you're learning edge control, this thing will be fine for you. It won't be hooky. You don't have to worry about it. But once you figure out how to actively engage the edge, you'll have that edge hold that you want. Who's this board for? A high-level beginner or a low-level intermediate that's trying to progress. I mean, let's be real. This isn't the board for me at all. I am way beyond anything in this caliber, which is fine. But what's nice is it's predictable. Yeah, you got this little camber zone. It doesn't fight you. You don't have to worry about loading it up. It's predominantly almost a full rocker board at this point. It's easy to ride on. It's forgiving, which makes it fun and easy for someone that's just starting out or progressing. They don't have to worry about it being hooky. They don't have to worry about the board trying to kill them. They'll outgrow it for sure, but for what it is, it's actually pretty damn good. Comparable boards: the Arbor Formula, the Ride Manic, the Nitro Prime. Binding recommendations: the K2 Indy, the Burton Mission, the Ride C4. This has been my review of the Rossignol circuit. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about this snowboard. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and I'll see you in another video.